Citizens often have questions or would like more information on specific topics, projects, and/or processes in city government. We have designed a show to do just that. Through a series of discussions with Mayor Randy McClement and key city staff and guests, we hope to educate, clarify, and update our viewers on a variety of current city topics. I am Susan Harding, and welcome to City Issues.
Sort of transportation park. It's a multimodal ability to get people through our city.
Right. We would like more information about specific topics, projects, and/or processes of the city. The Frederick Community Action Agency offers homeowner counseling and educational service and is a HUD-approved counseling agency. Today we are focusing on 3 counseling programs offered: pre-purchase, default foreclosure prevention, and the reverse mortgage. And with us to talk about these programs are Joe Baldi and Brad Petersen, housing counselors with the Community Action Agency. Thank you for joining us today, Brad and Joe. And we're going to discuss the 3 main areas of housing counseling at the Frederick Community Action Agency. Why don't we start with the first one, pre-purchase program. Mayor?
What do you want me to say?
That will be cut.
Okay. One of the things that the residents probably don't know about is some of the things we offer at the Frederick Community Action Agency. So Brad and Joe, thank you for coming and talking about some of these things. Wide variety of different services that we offer down there, and this is an opportunity for you to sort of give them background of what we offer and to maybe one of the classes and when some of the things are happening. So like Susan said, why don't we start with the pre-purchase? So either one, whichever would like to start.
All right. Yeah, so one of the programs that we offer is pre-purchase housing counseling, and that is for individuals that are looking to purchase anywhere in Frederick County, but it can be used really across the state of Maryland. We have a class that's offered on the 3rd Saturday of the month from 12 until 5 p.m. and the class is free, just like all the services that we provide. The class covers the entire home buying process, everything from qualifying for a mortgage through the loan closing, and then we also talk about different mortgage and down payment programs that are available to first-time home buyers. The class is also something that people will receive a counseling certificate at the end of the workshop, and a number of those first-time homebuyer programs require that they have that certificate at the time they go to closing. Yeah.
Who can come to these classes?
Yeah, anyone can come to the workshop. It's available free of charge, and they just have to register.
A lot of times realtors refer people to us because realtors start with a new person and that person doesn't know the process. It can take a long time for the realtor to explain all that. So they appreciate us giving the class and give them more information.
How many people you normally have in a class?
We have usually between 35 and 50 people per class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Sure.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well populated. That's great.
At the summertime, it actually picks up, and sometimes we have a second class during the month also.
So maybe more people know than I think about it. That's great.
I know, that's great.
So now you're going to be up to 75 and 100.
Right.
That's good.
Is there any one-on-one services available?
We can do that too. If you really cannot attend that class for some reason, if you're working every day, for example, we can meet with you one-on-one and work with you over a period of time to get you qualified. Obviously, you need to get the information, and that takes more than a few minutes. It takes quite a while, but we can do that, sure.
That's great. So you start off with the classes that sort of get you in the beginning, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then we know somewhere along the lines, you know, unfortunately, you go down, you lose your job, things happen. And then the other end of the spectrum of potential when you're at that time where you're really getting close, you might not be able to stay in your house. And I know we offer services to help with that too.
Yeah, foreclosure prevention counseling is unfortunately, you know, one of the major services that we, meaning unfortunate that the homeowners are in that situation. That is a major service that we provide, and those appointments are available Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. It is by appointment, and Joe and I, like I said, are available 6 days a week for those appointments. And during that time, we can sit with someone, we can set up a budget, we can sort of talk about their specific situation and see what programs and services might be available to them to prevent a foreclosure from happening, whether that be retention, keeping the property, or liquidation, which would be transitioning from the property into another residence.
We actually will take the time to meet with someone and then potentially call the lender while they're with us. And sometimes having a housing counselor on the phone, the lender's a little more receptive and a little more helpful. So we've been able to sometimes bridge that gap and get the person back on track to really start making an attempt to get a modification.
That's great. It's another good service. Do you guys find, is it 50-50 to where you're able to help them stay in the house compared to have to get to the liquidation part? Or?
Well, I would say a positive outcome is avoiding a foreclosure. And so sometimes people do come in and they are interested in a short sale or what's called a deed in lieu of foreclosure. Those are both options that they would be transitioning from the property. And so I would say positive outcomes for us are usually between 2/3 and 3/4, so 66 to 75%, somewhere in that range.
Is there a time period in their possible foreclosure that they need to see you all sooner than later? I mean, is there a point of no return?
Well, the sooner and later is always better, and yes, there is a point of no return. But in the state of Maryland, it's a very specific process, the foreclosure sale process, and it can literally take months, if not years, to go through that process. So to say that you have a foreclosure notice does not mean that's the end by any means, but I would suggest calling us and coming in so we can get on track to see what the situation is, see how far along you are, see what your ability to rebounce back is, and figure out the best answer for you.
And it's nice too, you do say this is a one-on-one
Yes.
scenario, and people should, I know it's probably to get a point, people might be embarrassed,
Yeah.
but I think it's nice that you offer the one-on-one service so people feel a little more comfortable coming in.
Well, we literally meet in the office on South Market, but we're in an office of our own. So you're in a separate, small office, so it really is one-on-one with a closed door situation. So if somebody wanders by, they aren't going to see you sitting there talking to us.
So we encourage the residents that are listening that may be getting close to that point. Don't be embarrassed. Come down. We're here to help. You guys are here to help to provide maybe that little bit of information that will keep them in their house.
And that's also a key point. We provide information. We do not have a bucket of money, and we don't have specific programs of our own to get you out of trouble, but we will help you try and get out of those problems.
And then there's the very, very late end of life where you're talking about maybe reverse mortgages, and that's a fairly newer concept in that process. So why don't you guys explain a little bit what we can do for that?
Yeah, so a reverse mortgage is a program for homeowners 62 or older that have equity in their property to tap into the equity in their property while they continue to live in it. So it's a program that does require that they come in and meet with a certified housing counselor and get a certificate in order to actually process the reverse mortgage loan. And that's what we provide to them, is provide that third-party counseling and get that certificate for that. So it's a program that we provide for homeowners that are seniors in that situation.
So that certificate is required for most every reverse mortgages that are out there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolutely.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Well, the idea of thinking is that the person selling the reverse mortgage is trying to make money. You're trying to do the best for your family, and we're trying to have a middle ground. We don't get any remuneration because of the sale, but we do try and give you the information as detailed as we can to show you whether it works better for you or not. We can't make that decision for you, but we can sort of give you the direction and the information to help you make that decision.
On a personal level, my parents took advantage of reverse mortgage. Brad, you came out to the house, you counseled them. It was wonderful for them.
Good.
And going through HUD made it a very secure situation. and it afforded them, they stayed in their home. They were able to live very comfortably. So for them, it was wonderful.
Good. That's always nice to hear when the program works well. Yeah.
And that's what we want to be able to do, is provide that information. Like you said, you guys are great information brokers.
That's the idea.
And people don't know that we have those services. And we're glad we had this opportunity for you to get it out.
Well, we are too.
Anything else that you'd like to bring up that you guys do down there?
Well, we have a lot of fun with that.
That's okay. What's wrong with that?
I want to add too, when my parents were older, and the way it was explained to them was made so easy for them to understand.
Good.
It was not, they weren't overwhelmed with it, they understood. Brad, you made sure that they were comfortable with what they heard, left information, and I believe
Right.
you have booklets.
Yeah,
It just spells it out and makes it very easy. So
yeah. The reverse mortgage counseling has changed quite a bit since I came out, but we do have a reverse mortgage counselor. That's all that she does is just reverse mortgage counseling, and the information that she provides is very extensive, so that, like all of our programs, pre-purchase, default, or reverse mortgage, our goal is so that the customer or the client is making the best decision for them and their family.
Right.
That's what we want to provide to you.
Well, thank you guys very much for
Sure. Well,
taking
thank
your
you.
time to come out.
Absolutely.
We encourage people to call
Yeah.
or email or set up some time to come down and talk to you if they have any of these concerns.
Absolutely.
And but I appreciate the service that you provide for our citizens.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
and it's open to anyone,
Absolutely.
city or county
Yeah,
resident.
that's right.
City or
Actually,
county
we
resident.
also handle Carroll County too. If you call the Hope hotline, they will have you call us. So to save you a phone call, just call us.
Great.
Right. And there's no income limits for our programs either.
Well, it's nice we have these great services for our citizens
Yep.
that maybe a lot of people don't know about. Thank you. Thank you
you,
for
guys.
joining us.